news on TV and radio. Oi, oi. To remain in the limelight, that is what he's looking for. To be popular is a Pakatan, last pali about a land. Is a land do this, and a land do that. Is a land do this, that man feel is smart. That is the strategy to keep people talking about he. Even the heavy roller, calling he Johnny Walker. Is a land do this, and a land do that. He brainwashing we, even that singing about he. Oh lad, is a land do this, a land do that, a land do this, a land do that. 15 do that. Walker, oh lad, a land, a land, a land. Is a land do this, and a land do that. Is a land do this, that man feel is smart. All the ministers and the PM, he more popular than them. Is them causing the problem, cause they have a name like an anthem. Is a land do this, and a land do that. Stop playing game, stop calling a name. Is a land do this, a land do that. Do this, do that. A land do this, a land do that. Hey, hey. Tous les jours font ça. If the man go on a holiday up in Toronto, oi, oi. Next day is big news on TV and radio, oi, oi. To remain in the limelight, that is what he's looking for. To be popular is a Pakatan, last pali about a land. Is a land do this, and a land do that. Is a land do this, that man feel is smart. That is the strategy to keep people talking about he. Even the heavy roller, calling he Johnny Walker. Is a land do this, and a land do that. He brainwashing we, even that singing about he. Oh lad, is a land do this, a land do that, a land do this, a land do that. 15 do that. Walker, oh lad, a land, a land, a land. Is a land do this, and a land do that. Is a land do this, that man feel is smart. All the ministers and the PM, he more popular than them. Is them causing the problem, cause they have a name like an anthem. Is a land do this, and a land do that. Stop playing game, stop calling a name. Is a land do this, a land do that. Do this, do that. A land do this, a land do that. Hey, hey. Tous les jours font ça. If the man go on a holiday up in Toronto, oi, oi. Next day is big news on TV and radio, oi, oi. To remain in the limelight, that is what he's looking for. To be popular is a Pakatan, last pali about a land. Is a land do this, and a land do that. Is a land do this, that man feel is smart. That is the strategy to keep people talking about he. Even the heavy roller, calling he Johnny Walker. Is a land do this, and a land do that. He brainwashing we, even that singing about he. Oh lad, is a land do this, a land do that, a land do this, a land do that. 15 do that. Walker, oh lad, a land, a land.
Special greetings to all on the platform. Greetings, welcome to Caribbean American News Media Platform. I know you want to find out why are we here, what are we doing here. at this time, but I thought it would have been best for me to come on, seeing that I've been robbing you of a day. We will have to do a reset and try to get back our programming, our 2 programs on the platform. And so I want to greet everyone. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media Platform. We are broadcasting here at 3:46 p.m. We're just trying to keep your company as you go home. Those of you who are traveling on the bus from work, we want to say a special good evening to good afternoon to you as you get home. Those of you going home from school, we are asking you to get home safely. To our bus drivers, those who are logging in at this time, taxi drivers, those of you on the train, on the buses, wheresoever you are, we greet you here at Caribbean American News Media. Please share the platform as soon as you get in. Let the folks know that we're on at this time. I know it is funny for us to be on, but we are here, all right? Don't complain. We are here, and we will be here until we are satisfied that, we have done what we are supposed to do. So please, folks, this is Caribbean American News Media. You're not dreaming. We are on. To those of you who are logging in, Gloriana, you're already logged in. I suspect that your notification is always on over there on YouTube and our Facebook. Please, if you have not liked and followed the platform, you need to do so. This is the best time to do it. Facebook is changing rapidly. Like and share, follow. Turn on your notification bell. For those of you on Facebook who have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you need to go there and subscribe to it. That is our safest channel right now. Just in case something go wrong with our Facebook account, we have our backup over there on YouTube. So I will ask you to subscribe, sign on to YouTube channel. A lot of people don't like Facebook, but you can do also the the YouTube and Facebook. Nothing is wrong with doing both of them. So special good afternoon again to you, our viewers here on the platform. It is a pleasure to be here with you.
Over the past 5 years, every single decision we have taken has been to fertilize prosperity for today and to sow the seeds of progress for our nation 10 years.
Yes, my friends, you are on to Caribbean American News Media Platform.
Every budget we delivered, every investment we attracted, every infrastructural project we approved, and those we re-engineered are meant for our children, our future, our St. Lucia. The United Workers' Party. Let's keep working. Over the past 5 years, every single decision we have taken has been to fertilize prosperity for today and to sow the seeds of progress for our nation 10 years from now. Every budget we delivered, every investment we attracted, every infrastructural project we approved, and those we re-engineered are meant for our children, our future, our St. Lucia. The United Workers' Party. Let's keep working.
All right, that is the United Workers' Party ad. We have one more ad that we want to upload to our system. Bear with us, folks.
All are invited to a walk through the Grizzly constituency on May 25th, 2024 from 3:30 p.m. Start-off point, Casaba Junction. Then we walk through Bossejou, Casaba, then the streets of Grizzly, where we end at Federal Prudence office on Marie Terry Street. Tell a friend to bring a friend. Let's make it happen. All are invited to a walk through the Grizzly constituency on May 25th, 2024 from 3:30 p.m. Start-off point, Kazaba Junction. Then we walk through Boseju, Kazaba, then the streets of Grizzly, where we end at Federal Prudence Office on Mary Terry Street. Tell a friend to bring a friend. Let's make it happen. All are invited.
All right, so that is a promotion there from the Grizzly branch, and I would ask everyone to go out if they can. Head up there to Grizzly on Saturday the 25th of May 2024. All right, go and support a worthy cause. You have been asking for action, on the ground action. Here it is. All right, so there's a lot happening, folks, and we have our little 40 people. We're going to spend some time together, and I'm sure if this platform can go anywhere at any time. All right, so we have a number of issues here that we want to look at that are in the news that are affecting you. Now let me just say something. I listened to a sinner today trying to justify the use of witchcraft and sorcery in a nation and label it to be something good, something pleasant, something that everybody should be excited about. And I just want to say, friends, God is not mocked. If you want to do your thing, you have a choice. But for you to use the word of God and try to bend it out of shape, the Bible says, woe unto you who adds and take away from this book. There is nowhere in the Bible you're going to find support for witchcraft or anything of such. Never. A matter of fact, what you'll find from Revelation and all these other books is that God is warning that those people will have their part in hell. You cannot serve God and the devil. You cannot give your allegiance to God and allegiance to the enemy. Darkness has to do with the enemy of God. Evil has to do with the enemy of God. Witchcraft has to do with the enemy of God. It has nothing to do with God. And for anyone to try to justify nastiness, justified evil, it is a shame. And I say to you, if you don't repent, your place will be in the pits of hell. My place will be in the pits of hell. Woe unto he whosoever encourages witchcraft and obeah in the land. God will not be mocked. That's all I am saying. And mark my words, the longest rope have an end. Don't play with God. Don't mix Christianity up. Don't mix us up. Don't mix us up. Don't pull us into this dysfunction. Mental dysfunction. That's what it is. Want to drag us also into spiritual dysfunction. And it tells in our reasoning that we are heading into a very dark place as a nation. But I will go on from that. That's not our major issue in the country. Everybody know about the evil that exists all over the country. So it is what it is. But folks, the phone lines are open, 929-586-182. And let's discuss the issues. Today, we found out from Mr. John Peter. And by the way, congratulations to Nancy and Andre for the program this morning. Very enlightening, and I believe you guys smoke out a lot of bees. Nancy, you smoke out a lot of bees, because one of the bees came on, and the bee said that no, the figures are wrong. The figures are wrong. The same bee that said the figures at St. Jude was different, it is the same bee that comes back now to tell us that there is something different. The numbers are not what the numbers are. So Nancy, good job. Good job for smoking it out. And I want to say good job to Jimmy for calling in and calling it what it is, calling it out. Yes, my friends. Let me tell you something. I don't believe that you St. Lucians understand what is happening right now in your country before your eyes. Many of you cannot speak on it. You know why? Because you have said something different under the United Workers' Party reign. You said something different, and now you can't. You want to speak It's hurting you. It's burning you. But you will look stupid. You will look like an idiot. You will look like a bunch of whatever you want to call yourself. You find a name for yourself. You know how to judge yourself. Yeah? And so you want to talk, but you can't talk because nothing new under the sun. Nothing, absolutely nothing. They're borrowing monies from our local banks to do projects in the country. You fought against it. Now you are quiet. You are enjoying it. Brilliant, Prime Minister. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. You spoke about the Dyer Mall. Oh, it was an evil thing. It's the worst thing. Government asset. What about the halls of justice? What about the halls of justice? What about and by the way, we don't trust a lot of you who consider yourselves to be professional engineers. We don't trust you. Some of you have no credibility. Some of you have confused us to the point where we don't even understand who you are. Whether you're a political pundit, whether you're a professional, whether you are from the Mongoose gang, whether you're a fisherman, disguised as an architect or engineer, we don't know what to think of you. You have confused us. Congratulations. So you're calling now to shout over Nancy Charles. That's what you're doing. You called to shout over her. You called to take all the air out of the room. You called to take over the show to defend your company. And the charges, the cost, $5,000 a square foot. Yes, you called to defend your company. And so you started shouting over her and talking over her like a little bully. But you have not given us information. And you know what you said? You said, well, that's not the figures. She said, but this is what I read. This is what I got from the contractor. This is what I got from the Prime Minister. No, that's not the number. Speak the truth. That's not the number. You should use common sense and everybody should know. No, everybody shouldn't know. We're not in a building business. Some of us don't know nothing about foundation. We don't know anything about square footage. A matter of fact, if you ask half of the people viewing my platform, they will tell you, me, I don't know what is that. I don't know. I don't know.
Mon passe après manger bêtise ça.
That's what they will tell you.
Mon passe après manger bêtise ça.
So now we are left confused, St. Lucians, and we're hearing that there is another figure. So what Peter is saying to us, that what the Prime Minister said to us, don't listen to him. You can't trust his words. He might be misleading you. I have the facts. That's what he's saying to you, St. Lucians. That's what he's saying to you. But no, you don't believe him. Yes, that's what the man tell you. Don't listen to the Prime Minister. So, and recently the Prime Minister have been saying a lot of stuff, right? And it also have confused the people. I think he said that he will be giving the police what do you call it? Skis. Water skis. And they're going to get some other stuff. Now, I don't know how the police in St. Lucia are going to be using skis unless it is motorized, unless it's a jet ski, and I don't know if we have to figure it out. I don't know if the Prime Minister believes that we should try to get into his head and figure out what he's trying to say. And you think that they will come and correct it and put out a little notice, the minister misspoke. Here is what the police will actually get. It is not skis. It is just jet skis. When you're doing communication, friends, you got to do effective communication. You got to be able to pass on information to whoever is listening without leaving them more confused. Think about your children in school and the teacher teaching, and the children leave the school more confused. They can't figure out one-on-one what it is. And that's what we get from our press conferences. But one thing we can understand in those press conferences from the government, we can understand Alan Shastney's name. Yeah? We can understand Shasne do this and Shasne
Alan do that. Alan do this. Alan do that. 15 Walker. Oh yeah. Alan. Is Alan do this? And Alan do that. Is Alan do this? Come and feel is smart. All the ministers.
So that's what we can understand when we go to a press conference. The UWP, Alan Chastney, they don't call Guy Joseph name anymore. Invader tell them don't call Alan Chastney name anymore. So they try to avoid calling his name because their strategy of keep calling his name, keep him in the news all the time, and we will stain him so badly that people would not want to look at him, give him a second look. Just keep talking negatively about him. That's what the specialists and the political and analysts says to them. Keep dirtying his name as often as you can, because if you don't do that, crap will smoke your pipe. He coming back. Yeah, he's coming back. And so they realize that the strategy have only empowered the man even more, making him more popular. There the song came up.
Is Alan do this? Come and feel is smart. That is the strategy to keep people talking about he. Even the heavy roller calling he Johnny Walker. Is Alan do this? And Alan do that. He brainwashing we, even that singing about he. Oh lad, is Alan do this? Alan do that.
So you will realize that there's going to be a decline in the number of times they call his name. Watch the space, yeah? So let's look at what is happening out there. So John Peters called the Rev Up program, Meet the Opposition, this morning, and he disputes the number. Matter of fact, he actually, in everything that he said, all the shouting, said that Nancy is misleading the people. She's lying. He's beginning to sound like his gang members. Buda said the Mangoose gang. So he's beginning to sound like them. So he said, tell the truth. So if you're not telling the truth, you're lying. So Nancy said, but this is what I read in the newspaper in Trinidad. This is what the Prime Minister said. Peter said, no, that's not the number. You got to use common sense, and it's whatever builds for a story or whatever building, you have to calculate all that. So the citizens of the country, taxpayers, when the government speaks to them now, got to ask themselves whether the information that they receive is accurate, whether they got to go and do some other calculations themselves, whether they got to figure out something else based on the information that they receive. So, and John Peter said that to us this morning, that there's a different information out there. That's not the real story. I am asking, even on the St. Jude's Project, what is the real story? Full disclosure, what is the real story? I am asking on behalf of the St. Lucian people, what is the full story with the GPH deal? We got to start asking a lot of stories. What are the stories with the road network? We got to ask the question, what is the real story with our water company? What is the real story with our minimum wage? We need to know the real story, because you have confused us now. We do not believe that the stories that you're giving us is the full story. What is the real story? What is the full story on the GPH deal? What is it? Are you thinking of giving away our airports too? What are the real stories? What are the real stories with the water company? And I want to say this, folks. You people who live on the island have shortchanged yourself. Look at what Wasco is doing to you. Wasco is acting like they do not plan for the future. They act like they're not aware of dry spells that normally hit the region, water crisis that would hit the region. Wasco acts as though they're a Mobby shop. And even a Mobby shop would plan in case there's a shortage of Mobby back and sugar. So Wasco is acting like I don't know what to call Wasco. Even a tea boutique make plans for shortages. And Wasco has been ripping the people of St. Lucia off for years. No water, a big bill. As a matter of fact, you pay for air. When you open your pipe, there is more air than water. As a matter of fact, you have been paying for more of nothing than you have paid for anything. In other words, many of you are paying Wasco for water that you'd never receive and will not receive in a hurry. How many times have you gotten up trying to get water to rush to an event and there is none? How many times you got to be worried how you're going to wash your uniforms? How many times have you had to go to the river or to other sources to get water, or to get water from your neighbor? How often have you had to stand by the road with a bucket to gather water from a Wasco truck? Think about the amount of times that you have gone to Wasco to pay your bills. Think about the amount of times that they, Wasco, have come to your place and disconnect your water, your air, because it's not water disconnecting. I don't know what they're disconnecting, and that's the truth. You might as well leave the people connected to the source. There ain't no water coming through. What are you disconnecting? And there is no watchdog agency that will step in and say, Wasco, you are overstepping. One, crappy service. No service. No proper customer service. Nasty water in our pipes. What is happening? There was a time in Dennery where it was so bad that you didn't see water for months. Months. I can remember in Denver where I had to drive my stepfather's van up La Pointe over there by Jolie to full up by the road and to cut leaves and put it in the water so it wouldn't spill. I remember those days. And those days are still here. I remember days where we would wait for a truck by the road with all our buckets. 2024, water is life, and nobody was able to properly invest in proper water system in the country. And it seems to me that the only people that are benefiting from our water system is the hotels and the bourgeois, big business, those with the money. Scarcely have shortages in these places. During the jazz season, you're going to get shortages. During the high tourism season, you are going to have shortages. Never. But our poor families from the Valley of Dennery to Belmont and Swazill and all these areas, Grosley, the Malay Way, can't get water. And the people just remain silent and take their blows and pay their $100 to Wasco. Pay their $100 to Wasco. I remember that I would take my stepfather's van to drop water for other people in Dennery. We had 2 pickups. And we had to drive and drop water, deliver water to families. You fill everything you have from pots to pan to pour to potty everything you're full, because you do not know when you will get water from Wasco. I remember, and I blame it on the water, I remember all my back had white marks. And a French company came over to St. Lucia, and I think they were doing some studies. And the waters we were getting were not pure water. It was not good for consumption. And people in the river go up Belfashion and all the river going up. People with pickups and vans and cars washing because they have not seen water in a very long time. Underdeveloped nation. Everything is back to front, topsy-turvy. The medical system upside down. Our court system upside down. And the people got to just don't say anything because our government is in place. Whether it's the UWP, SLP, don't say nothing because don't put pressure. Our government is in place. Not realizing that you are encouraging something that that will affect you and your family later on in life. And they say to you, Wasco has promotions for water tanks. As far as I'm concerned, Wasco should be given those water tanks because Wasco cannot provide the service that the people are paying for. And nobody says to Wasco, shut your mouth and give away the tanks. Nobody is saying to Wasco, you go out there and deliver those tanks to those people free of charge. They pay you for the service that you can't deliver. And it seems that Wasco takes advantage of our poor people. And I want to warn them. The Bible speaks about agency like you. Placing unnecessary strain and pressure on the poor. The Bible speaks of you. So if I were you, Wasco, I would do better. I would start distributing water tanks to poor families. And I would go the extra mile in helping the poorer families to set it up. And the problem with Wasco is that every time a new government comes in, their friends, they place their friends into high position, directors and communication people, and they give and they pay them large amount of monies for no service at all. Nothing changes. The John Compton Dam, they're telling us that there's a problem up there. Why is there a problem up there? Why? Why? Why are you in existence? And if you don't have the manpower in the country, why are you not bringing in somebody from outside into the country to help you plan for any future water shortage because of drought or any other issue in the land? Why are you not preparing for any kind of disaster in the country? Why are you not organizing yourself so you can deal with the development in the nation, hotels and more businesses, more families, the pressure that would be on the system? Why are you not planning along with the government for the water problems that we have had? Nothing new, you know. And so Wasco comes out and say, we will take you to court and you will have to go to jail for 6 months, or you'll have to pay a fine if we see you washing, if we see you doing this, and if we see you doing that. They're threatening the people. Very easy to threaten the people. But the people can't threaten them with any form of action. I'm calling on St. Lucians to launch a strike against Wasco. stand up. It is time to stand up to these companies, whether it's the internet services for crappy service or no service at all. It is time for you. And we do not get all these complaints from Lucia. Lucia communicates. Lucia is on the ball. Wasco water main bursts and it takes them 10 years to fix it. In Dennery alone at the fisheries, for years water is flowing on the pavement, gushing out, running back into the sea. Water, that they treat, that they pay for to treat, and then it's waste. It goes out in the ocean at the Daito in Denver. I believe it's fixed now. It stayed there so long that it grew moss. And Wasco people show up at Daito to buy fish in their vehicles, the Wasco vehicles, to buy fish. And they see the water gushing and gushing out. And all over the country, you hear of reports of busted pipes. And it takes them months. And while the water is busted, they put out notice that there'll be water shortage and we'll be disconnecting the water tomorrow and there'll be no water between the hours and blah, 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 blah. But busted pipes in every community. Maybe it's time for a new water company. Maybe it's time to restart or reset the water company in St. Lucia. Maybe it's time for us not to privatize. I'm afraid to mention privatization because this government will sell everything right now. And by the way, they have 2 more years to sell the whole of St. Lucia. They have 2 more years to sell Wasco and everything else that they can put their hands on. So, I spoke to you, St. Lucians, about this halls of justice. That's a concern for me. I don't know how I got on to Wasco, but that was a good getting on because Wasco has a problem and they're disrespectful. They have no mercy on the people. None at all. None at all. Now I pull up my screen so I can have a look. Boss ladies, how are you? Sakafet. Let's see. Folks, the lines are open. Anybody wants to call, they can call at 929-586-1821. Let's look at some of the comments here. Bear with me, folks. Trying. Okay, folks, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's get some comments, and then we'll get back to work. Hold a minute. Prime Minister saying one thing, and I mean that's ridiculous. So someone is saying here, Loveliness is saying, imagine while a nurse put in an IV for my sister, They had a conversation. The nurse asked him, what's wrong with St. Lucians? How are they so stupid? The nurse is from Jamaica. He knows everything that's going on in the Caribbean. Imagine that. Well, that's right. Reynolds, how are you? He says we're begging for trouble. Lydia, St. Lucia's in a mess. Sabina, okay, she just written. And Catherine, Charles, hey Charles, long time. Imagine how these useless people didn't care about us. It seems like the people are just at the mercies of, a sitting duck government. You don't know what is going on. Now we're finding out this morning, as I said, folks, that there is not much. We can't really trust what the Prime Minister is saying to us or what the government is saying. Look, Mr. Peter is saying he has different information from what Nancy was referring to this morning. What are we to believe, friends? I don't know what to say. What is going on? And you would believe, friends. Let's take this call. Greetings, caller. You're on the air. Caribbean American News Media.
Brother Garfield, how are you?
I'm trying to figure things out. I am good, blessed, highly favored, but I am trying to figure out what is happening in the country. You're unsure. I'm sure you're in St. Lucia. You can guide me because I really don't know. I almost give up.
Brother Garfield, what's going on in the country is that we have a government that really is incompetent, like Ian would say, and cannot run the country. Okay? They're running the country to the ground. St. Lucia has sank, and I'm fed up, and so are lots of other people, even if they may not be speaking, even if they may be too fearful to talk. I'm fed up. And a lot of other people are fed up with Philip J. Pierre and his red cabal. Now, I know that people may think, oh, she's always talking. She's talking because you mentioned something here about the water, and I'm very, 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 very concerned about this water thing. I have been. I'll tell you why. It was Kenny Anthony, his administration, which is SLP again, who had imposed a 62% levy, and I say use the word imposed because it was imposed on us. Nobody was in agreement with it, but they still had to distill the dam, right? The John Compton Dam.
That's right.
That they imposed that fee on us, that levy on us, that tax on us. Again, the taxing SLP,
right? Because
they don't know how to do anything without taxing and squeezing blood out of Stoner, out of the people of St. Lucia. Okay. That levy has never been lifted. That levy, and I repeat, has never been lifted.
Never?
62%. It doubled our bills. Our bills never went back to normal. How was the levy lifted? All right, Brother Garfield. Okay, Brother Garfield. You with me?
Okay, so the levy is still there.
Okay, yes, the levy is still there. If it's been lifted, somebody call and say it's been lifted and tell me when. Please and thank you. Okay. That levy has never been taken off. So we have been paying for this for forever now, Brother Garfield. Further, you're telling me that all these monies have been collected in a levy or in a tax, and today Wasco is coming to tell us, the same people, Brother Garfield, that we cannot get water because we have water crisis. We have a water emergency. Why didn't the SLP government? Why did they? And I say never. Why haven't they continued the desilting of the dam? Or why didn't they take it upon themselves to distill the dam?
Right.
So that we can have the water capacity that we need. Now, when they came in, they brought in Zilta George. Touted her. Zilta George, she will do the job. She's experienced from Wasco and whatever. Zilta George has not done the job because now she's coming out and stating a water emergency. And if she had done the job, we would not have a water emergency today. Now, if somebody has been hired to do such a high-profile job and they have failed, because that's a failure, should the person still be sitting there collecting money in a salary?
Nope.
Should the person still be sitting there collecting a salary?
What's her position? Repeat her position.
Isn't she a director at Wasco?
I don't know. I got to look into it. I don't know what she is, whether she's communications or what
Oh,
over there.
she's not communications. She's a director at Wasco. She is responsible for the company and the runnings and the operations of the company. May I tell you this? And she's also the daughter of a well-known pundit who made some remarks some time ago about us being slaves.
Oh, that is Calix George's. Oh, no wonder she got that position.
Thank you very much. So nepotism and corruption within the government and the different departments or whatever the government has their hands in. If Zilta cannot do the job, Zilta, my love, you need to resign. You need to resign because you cannot come, take up a position and put us in that kind of a predicament when we have been paying for waters that we don't receive in our tax. We've been paying a levy that has never been pulled back from us. And that job hasn't been done. I'm very angry, Brother Garfield. Maybe you're sensing it and you're hearing it in my voice.
Hearing it in your voice.
I am very angry. My head hurts.
Confused.
My head hurts because I think this is, and nobody cares that my head hurts, but my head hurts. And I'll tell you why, and my heart breaks. And I'll tell you why. Okay. Because this is the kind of garbage that continues to happen in this country. This is the kind of garbage that we continue to put up with. This is the kind of nonsense that passes for governance in our country. Wasn't it Stevenson King who just came out and said, there will be an increase in, if we can get 2 bears with $10 or whatever, we can afford to pay more for water, right?
Yes.
I want to ask Stevenson King, the infrastructure minister, was he there when that levy was imposed on every household, every business, everybody who has water in St. Lucia has paid 62% more in their water bills for how many years? You know how many millions of dollars have been collected?
But thank you for reminding me on that statement by Stevenson King that people can buy 2 bears and so they can afford an increase in water bill. But what are the people paying for? That's the question. What services are they paying for?
Bill Garfield, we are not receiving water. Stevenson King comes and makes his ridiculous comments. Zilta George and the government now is saying there is a water emergency in St. Lucia, but St. Lucians have been charged. Under this SLP government, do you realize how much have gone wrong and how much we've been charged? Do you realize that everything that was already costed have been stopped and recosted now to charge us 3 times the amount? But Philip J. Pierre had told us, I will triple it, my brothers and sisters. We did not understand what he was saying. And he has tripled the cost of living. He has tripled the chaos in the health system. He has tripled the chaos in the road system. He has literally tripled everything in St. Lucia, whether it be money, taxes via the way of taxes, or things that have deteriorated. So we're paying more, but we're receiving a lot less. I am calling on Zilta George today to resign, please. Because you have failed to do the job that you get paid thousands of our dollars to do.
Because somebody's saying online, somebody's saying online that they're receiving dirty water in the pipes. Is that true?
Yeah, there is dirty water in the pipes. A lot of people, when they open their pipes, are receiving dirty water in the pipes.
But why is that so?
There's a lot of garbage that passed for governance in this country that should never pass for governance.
You know, that's one problem. That's one problem I don't hear of in St. Vincent. I don't really have that water issue in St. Vincent. And also, Barbados that do not have a lot of water, they seem to be managing what they have very well.
Because they have a desalination plant.
And because my brother-in-law, I have to disclose this, that my brother-in-law is one of the chief there at the water company.
Okay, so he's doing his job.
And he came over to St. Lucia some years ago. Came over to St. Lucia some years ago to set up some water tanks, either in Mico or some area there.
Because he's doing his job, Brother Garfield, there is no problems with water in Barbados. Now, this is Barbados, a flat island. No trees, no mountains, no forests. This is St. Lucia with hills and forests and trees and rivers and so many water catchment areas. This is Wasco who has charged us an arm and a leg for water. However, they are failing to give us the water and the water quality that we should be receiving in 2024. Zilta George must resign. If the young lady was doing her job and she knew what she was doing, we would be coming out of a water crisis today and we would not be hearing that there's a water emergency. Stevenson King must resign as the Minister of Infrastructure because this falls under his portfolio. And they tell us, we all know, water is life.
But everything this man touches, everything this man touched turned to smoke.
That's right. It burns.
Yeah.
It burns. It finishes. So he has to go. The buck stops with Philip J. Pierre. He has to go. Now, St. Lucians, I'm sick and tired of you guys. I'm sick and tired of our St. Lucian people.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it as I'm saying it, and whoever likes me for it, likes me. Whoever don't like me, good for you.
No, I understand.
I welcome your criticism.
I understand
because
your frustration.
We cannot sit there and let these people take advantage of us the way they have. I commend Nancy like you did earlier.
Yep.
For taking John Peters.
What do you think of this guy?
John Peters is a fake, a phony, a liar, and he's only there for what he can receive for himself. He's a selfish person. He has no interest in what will benefit St. Lucia and St. Lucians. He has an interest in what will benefit himself and his Trinidadian counterparts. Okay? Now I make my statements and I make it based on what I have seen and what I have heard. If you're going to come and tell us you're going to put halls of justice in Castries, we are demanding that you give us the figures, the square footage, the correct figures for the building, and the correct figures as per what it would take to build 1 square foot of that building in Castries. Don't come and try to mama guy St. Lucia's, because we ain't stupid and we're not dumb. And we want John Peters out of our business in this country.
But let me ask you, Carla, what is he disputing? What was he disputing this morning? I tried to figure it out.
I think he was disputing all that the figures Nancy is giving is wrong. She's misleading people. She should retract her statements and this and that and the other. But he has not given the information that we are waiting for. You, John Peters, if you have the information, you, Philip J. Pierre, where is your transparency to let us know how much this cost, how much your halls of justice, because I say his, because there's already a place earmarked for the halls of justice that would cost St. Lucia less money and we would be receiving more. We would be receiving more because the holding cells are there. The police station is next door. The police can walk from their office to the halls of justice if it's done where the old headquarters are. Everything is situated right there.
That is
so nobody has to be running into Central Castries.
That's right.
This is a true halls of justice. What are they doing is they're doing a facade in Castries and pretending that it will house all the services, but it will not house all the services. So we are demanding that Philip J. Pierre comes out and gives us all the information on the halls of justice, on Port Castries and what is taking place, and Port Soufrière, and everything that they have been hiding from us. If not, we are demanding that you step out of the Prime Minister's office with your cabal. Take them with you, because they are just as clueless and as stupid and as unintelligent and as corrupt as you are being the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. These guys do not care about St. Lucians. They care about their pockets. They care about themselves and what they can acquire in the 5 years, if so much, because they're on the grounds doing their thing. The 5 years that they supposedly have in so-called governance in St. Lucia, they are just collecting as much as they can to enrich themselves. Now, who don't like me saying that? Tough. Because I have seen that ministers have come in and they're building house in Cap Estate and they've transformed their own homes in other parts of St. Lucia to Airbnbs with pools, with big walls, with this, with that. I have also seen them buy the latest pickups. I've also seen all of them building houses. You suddenly come to serve a country, but your lifestyle has changed drastically in 3 years. Where did the money come from? These people need to be looked at very closely, because we are paying the highest taxes in the goddamn Caribbean. We are receiving the least. Our standards are low. We have no medical. We have no healthcare on this island. None. We have no road infrastructure to talk about. I ask again, where is the money from the budget of 2021, 2, and 3 that they had put in for road projects and road rehabilitation infrastructure? Where is the money? We did not see anything happen because it was raining. Rain was falling, sorry.
So but caller, this is kind of funny because I remember going to a town hall meeting with the Prime Minister here in Brooklyn, and he said to the people that we could not have fixed the roads because we had a lot of rain. We had more rain than we've ever seen before. So where is that water?
Thank you very much. You are on to them. Somebody is on to them. And somebody is making complete sense. So Zilta Judge did not see the rain when the rain was falling according to them, because with them it's not raining, they're so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
When it was raining so much, what happened to Wasco? Where's all the money, millions they collected? Where's all the millions they collected for how many years in that levy to refill the dam and to do works, Wasco, this, that. Where's all the millions? They could not have seen that they should have cleared and cleaned all the water catchment areas to ensure we do not have a water emergency in St. Lucia. What is the young lady being paid for? What is she being paid for? And that's why I said the infrastructure minister has to go with her. He has to resign too. Because if it was raining so much in St. Lucia, why wasn't something done? Why wasn't something done? Why weren't huge tanks like what Guy Joseph put in the top of Forest there? Why weren't those huge tanks purchased and water stored properly? So we never have this happen in St. Lucia.
I don't understand why Wasco cannot
these
have water reserve for crisis. I don't understand.
But that's what I'm saying, Brother Garfield.
These guys should be able to supply in a drought. Let's say we have a drought in the country. Wasco should be able to say to the people of St. Lucia, we have enough water to last us for a year. We have enough water to last us for 6 months, for a year and a half. In the case of a major drought, we have our reserve that are there. So do not panic. We have enough water to supply the nation. We have been saving water.
Why was the director, the person responsible for Wasco, changed to Zilta George if the person was doing a good job prior? Why was that person moved out of that position, and why was Zilta put there? Wasn't she put there to do a better job than that person? However, we're in a worse crisis than we were at in 2021. Does that make any sense?
But I would love Wasco to tell us, not to interrupt you, but I would love for Wasco to tell us, the people of St. Lucia, what amount of water do you have right now? What's your capacity? Can you serve St. Lucia for the next 6 months in a crisis, in the case of a major drought that is prolonged? What is your water capacity? What do you have right now?
Brother Garfield, why are people being allowed to purchase big trucks of water in St. Lucia if we have a water crisis?
Oh, people are purchasing trucks of water?
Yeah, the hotels are purchasing huge trucks of water.
How is that so?
The cruise ships are getting huge trucks of water.
That ain't true.
There is water being purchased by certain individuals to fill up their tanks and stuff. So if we have a water crisis in St. Lucia, why are people being able to purchase those large tanks of water?
That ain't true.
Is the crisis just that ain't true? That ain't true?
No, can't be true.
One of these days, you'll believe me. You hear me? Yeah. One of these days, you'll believe me. Somebody will tell you the truth. Somebody will write it down just now.
So people are purchasing trucks of water.
Yes, and it's costing, let me tell you, it's costing people a lot of money to purchase trucks of water, and Wasco can deliver those trucks of water. There are people in certain parts of St. Lucia that have to come together, put money together to purchase trucks of water to fill their tanks, and the truck comes and delivers.
Somebody just indicate that you're right. Somebody indicate that you're right.
I have no reason to tell a lie.
You see, my problem is that enough people are not coming out. They're not coming out and speak up.
Why am I speaking? Because they're silent. What does that feel?
Stay on the
They
line.
are silent people.
Somebody said it's happening in Grenada also. And there's a Enola Queen. Wasco is not God. Stop it. I'm not even sure what.
Who said Wasco is not God? Let me tell the person when Wasco charging us. Let me not come for. Tell the person to let me come for them. Because when Wasco is charging us ridiculous monies for water that we're not receiving, that person ain't telling Wasco to stop charging us a damn levy that they have charged us since Kenny Anthony was there.
Now, this is my problem, my caller friend. Stay there, don't leave, huh? This is my problem.
No. I'm driving though, so.
Okay. Enola Queen is saying to us,
I can talk and drive.
She's saying to us that Wasco is not God. Stop it. Now, I get very confused quickly when things don't make a lot of sense to me. Who here on our platform, who here believes that Wasco is God? The answer is absolutely no one except you, because you're making the statement. So it seems to me that you believe Wasco is God. We don't. And I don't know what we should stop. I don't know what we should start in your country, because I have already looked you up, because you came and you make some statement some time ago and you left. I looked you up and I discovered that you're not even a St. Lucian like myself. You are not. And I'm sure in your country, there are persons, there are advocates who are standing up, who are speaking up against these issues in the country. We need advocates, and for you to come here and say to us, stop, because you support the Labour Party, it is disingenuous. You're not being real. You're not being honest. You're not practicing righteousness, Queen. I don't know you, and I don't want to insult you. I will never do that to a woman. But all I'm saying to you, let's reason. Let's call the number. You want to tell us to stop something, call the number 929-586-1821. Let's have a discussion. But don't come and tell us Wasco is not God and stop. We are paying these companies, and we are paying them. The taxpayers are paying these people to manage the water resources. What is life? St. Lucians, maybe you just came to St. Lucia, but St. Lucians have had major issues in the past with water. Even from way back in John Compton time, children were dying because of polluted water. He organized the John Compton Dam and other water sources, catchments, so that we can have clean water. And for you now to come here and play this game with us, Queen, to tell us we should stop it. This is ridiculous communication right now. Go ahead, caller.
I'm not going to blast her. All I'm going to say to her is take off the red glasses that she's wearing, put on a pair of clear lenses so she can see clearly what is in front of her and what is not. Remove the wax in your ears so you can hear properly what is going on in St. Lucia. And if you have endless tanks at your home, maybe you should start distributing some to the poor people who have no water and no way to reserve water for themselves. And I'm done with whatever her name is. Now, I want to talk about John Peters.
Talk to me.
We demand to have an explanation as to the amount of money the halls of, and I'm saying it again, the halls of justice is going to cost, said the St. Lucian taxpayer. We demand to know what size the building is in entirety, and we demand to know what a square foot is going to cost us taxpayers of St. Lucia. That goes out to the infrastructure minister, to John Peters, and to the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. We are demanding that. We have some demands that we are making on y'all, because it's not y'all's money that is paying for anything that y'all are choosing to do in St. Lucia. It is our money. It is also our money paying your salaries. We are your bosses. You are not our bosses. St. Lucians, we are the ones who are responsible. I'm holding us responsible for what is going on in our country, because we have a voice. We know how to take to the streets. We know how to do certain things. We know how to speak out. We know how to sign petitions. We know how to call a program if it's Roro and make more Roro. We know how to write Roro on internet, but we don't know how to mind our own damn business and take care of the stuff that we have to take care of. We don't know how to do it. Yes, I'm quarreling with y'all, St. Lucians, because I'm tired.
I realize you're tired.
I'm tired.
And I give you the freedom to quarrel today. I give you the freedom today to quarrel.
There is too much nonsense going on.
Yeah.
And it's one thing, week in, week out, something comes out. They're always trying to cover something with something else. This government, you know what happened? There's a water emergency right now because we're talking about the ports. We're talking about the ports.
Right.
We are hell-bent on finding out what's going on with the ports. We're hell-bent on finding out, asking them questions that they have not responded to. We're hell-bent on getting information that they have failed to give us.
That's
so
right.
what they do, they come out, have a water emergency to malmenate our civils once more.
But we're not going to encourage that. We're not going to allow anyone to malmenate our civil. Those who want to, like this person, Queen, I think her civil is being malmenate because when you say Wasco is not God, we should stop discussing the water issues in the country, then somebody's civil is already boiling.
Exactly. Because Wasco, there was so much rain. There was so much rain in St. Lucia. We have so many water catchment areas, and I will repeat it. Wasco's been charging us 62% of a levy for desilting and waterworks and whatever, and nothing. And you know, it started under the Kenny Anthony, the SLP administration. And you're telling me SLP administration is back again, and they've done nothing, absolutely nothing, to see that what they imposed a 62% on us for, that nothing has been done in the number of years that monies have been collected. We need to burn Wasco.
But listen to
we need to burn Wasco.
Wasco have water to outfire. But let me tell you, back in the days, I don't know if it's still happening in St. Lucia, right? I do not know if it still happens in St. Lucia. Wasco would send you the water late in the night, when you're sleeping. All the time you're up, no water. They send it during the night. Sometimes your pipe bursts, sometimes your pipe running all night. All kind of story Wasco would have been doing to the people of St. Lucia. So I know what I'm standing here and talk about. I experienced it myself. I was one of them transporting water ever so often to the house for my family.
And Brother Garfield, it is still happening. And you know how many broken mains are there in St. Lucia with water running? People are filming this and putting it on Facebook. And Wasco is not attending to fixing, not going to fix something as important as water, to conserve water. But today, Zilta can come and tell us that there is a water emergency.
Why we having busted pipes?
Resign.
Why are we having busted pipes so often in the country? Why? Are we being cheap with the type of pipes that we're buying? In St. Vincent, you scarcely have busted pipes. You know what they use down there? They use the hard metal pipes to run to your house.
I'm asking the question.
You guys use PVC.
How much has Wasco collected from that 62% levy from the time Kenny Anthony imposed it on St. Lucians, all St. Lucians? How much money has Wasco collected from that time to 2024? We need a response.
And them fellas were arguing about desilting. Remember, you had big cussing off. You had big cussing off about desilting the John Compton Dam and big confusion over it. And I don't think anything happened.
Guy Joseph attempted to get a company to desil the dam, and SLP, whilst in opposition, were complaining They were complaining. They were complaining, and that's one of my problems too. Instead of coming and continuing with the desilting program, they, of course, SLP shuts everything down and comes with their techniques. And when they are failing, they want to turn around and blame the last administration.
But 3 years years in, why have the dam not been desilt?
3 complete years, by the way. 3 complete years. July will complete the 3rd year of this government being in office. Brother Garfield, nothing has been done. Our roads are a mess. Now they come in here, they have infrastructure already. Our roads are a mess. Our roads are like, how you call it? A roller coaster. Because they're patching so much that when you're going over the patches, it's bumps going over.
You guys are so accustomed to the roads now. You guys are so accustomed to the roads now that you don't speak on the roads again. I don't hear much about the roads. Minibus drivers are not talking nobody.
Yeah? No. I'm complaining because I bought a new vehicle. One. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And 2, I had to pay $310 for registration, something that I paid $250 or $225 for in the past under the UWP administration. So it is increased. Okay, I paid $310. All right, so there's been an increase in that too. $310 from $225 or $250 each. Okay. So I have reason to speak. I have reason to speak up.
Whoa.
I have reason to speak against. I mean, I'm driving through Rodney Bay right now. Mm-hmm. You're telling me that the state of the roads in Rodney Bay in 2024, a project that was near completion, and I have to be stuck in traffic, taking my time, which means money, when I could have been driving on a lane and exiting around the roundabout and going about my business and shortening my commute time.
Stay there. You are my co-host for today until somebody comes in. But keep your eyes on the road. Marvin is saying, for the first of all these spaghetti half-inch PVC pipes run all over the place. Is not code. It looks ridiculous throughout the country. No building codes. Shame. Wow. Go ahead.
Do we have any standards in St. Lucia anymore? When Alan Shastey said he was building St. Lucia up, what did we hear?
He's a white man. He's stealing our country.
What? No. We don't want a Miami. But we want an Africa. We want roads that looking like African roads in the poor areas of Africa. We want to become full third world. We want to move from third world to a lower state in St. Lucia. That's the standards that we need right now.
We have somebody
St. Lucia has foreign standards in every aspect.
We have someone on our YouTube channel. Zelma is saying, we still have to be doing security for water in is it Pero or PI? Perot every day for the past few days.
Pero.
Pipes are dry in the Pero. In Pero, I am tired of that. So the citizens are tired, and we need to hear more from the citizens. Write it in, or just call us and let us know. Okay, we just got something here. Sorry, folks. We just got something here 12 minutes ago from Wasco. Here on the system, it says water levels at John Compton Dam reaches critical point. This is an emergency, friends. Water levels at the John Compton Dam reaches critical point. Oh, boy.
Brother Garfield, do you think that we should have someone who has been hired to do a job to make water portable clean water reach every household in St. Lucia has failed to do that, and this person should still be holding the position. I ask that to St. Lucians. This nepotism has to stop in our country. It has to stop. It has to stop now.
So, folks, let me just read this quote. This here. I'm going to make a statement on this lady and Wasco in itself. Something got to happen. Emergency here. Rasco is declaring a state of emergency in the country. As of Tuesday, May 14th, the John Compton Dam reported water levels of about 318.6 feet, which is some 14.4 feet below our spillway. All right? So there was a reduction of almost 50% in the south on the southern intake. Yeah? Folks, and sadly, my friend, the lady is saying that we should be quiet. We should shut our mouths when we're facing a major water crisis in a country that we should not be facing at this time. Go ahead, caller.
Lady, you must solve the problem rather than tell us to keep quiet, because we're paying for the bloody service. Excuse my language, everybody. We're paying for the bloody service, and we're paying high for the service that we can't seem to receive. We've paid a levy for endless of years, and this has not been fixed. So tell the lady, right, to come and fix the problem and stop telling us not to complain about it, because we'll complain. And you know what? We'll have a riot in St. Lucia for this. We'll have a riot. It's about time we start. We can no longer continue doing the nonsense that we are doing.
Yeah, so
we can no longer.
Yeah,
we can no longer continue.
Mervyn is saying, Mervyn Matthews, at this day and age, there should never be a water issue on the island. Seems like we are still in the donkey era.
But Garfield, I'm sorry, there's a little bit of noise in the background.
No, it's okay. We will accept that. We will accept it. We'll accept anything, any noise right now. We'll accept, because we have a crisis.
How could we sit down? How could we sit down on our backsides in this country and accept the kind of slackness that is going on, the mediocrity, the low standards? We are paying excess amounts of money in taxes. However, our standards have dropped so low that we don't even know how to handle what we have to handle in this country. And solutions are sitting there like nothing is happening.
Okay, so we have another.
We cannot do it. We need to get up and we need to speak. We need to speak, and the hacks can come from out of the woodworm if they want. I don't give a toss. My business is to make sure that we receive what we are paying for.
So we have my SLP hack on board, my friend Anthony Mondesi is saying, why are the flowers so bitter? The flowers are bitter because they can't get water, my friend.
Mondesi, to leave the country where he's at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leave the country where he is at, which is whatever country, and come and live in St. Lucia and take some of the crap that we come and experience, what we experiencing in St. Lucia prior to opening his mouth. May I say the right word? Because I'm tempted to use another. Before opening his mouth and making the statements that he makes, because he is not faced with the crisis that we are faced with in this country. He has no idea what it really feels like.
Mondesi, listen to me. Here in New York, I don't wake up and worry about water, you know. You know that, right? And I don't have a tank to store water. I don't have to store water. Once I turn on that pipe, there must be water in it. You hear me?
It's insane. I'm not settling Brother Garfield, I'm not settling for the garbage that's going on in St. Lucia. I am not settling for it. It is time for us to take to the streets and let our voices be heard in droves. And you know, the St. Lucians are saying, oh, what's happening? What's happening? We don't know what's happening, or whatever. What's happening? You don't know what's happening. You're not feeling the pinch. When you go to the supermarket, you're not feeling that the groceries are 3 times the original prices. Aren't you feeling that your bills are increasing drastically? And then there's no, you're not receiving the services that you are paying for? Aren't you feeling it? Can't you see that we're hiring people because their fathers are part of a party and they cannot do the job and deliver to us, and we're paying them thousands of dollars every month? Aren't you seeing? Are you sleeping, solutions? I'm walking publicly and making noise.
Yeah, because
I am that upset that I am out in public. I'm irate about what's going on.
And Tony, let me tell you also, you can hear the frustration in our caller. She's feeling that she's not like me and you, who, you know, we can get water when we want, and if we don't get it, we call an agency, and the agency put fire on the water suppliers so that we can get water. You know, we have a support system. The problem here is, Anthony, is that we have, our governments have failed us when it comes to water security, food security, and all health security. Everything, friends. If you look at the country itself, and let's be honest, our justice system, it's a mess. Our security, it's a mess. Our water is a mess. Our food security, the farmers, the bananas, everything, it's a mess. And we had all these years to prepare for whatever drought crisis, and we keep speaking about climate change and the effects of climate change, but it seems nobody understand what is going on and what are the solutions. We are busy talking about Chasney, the United Workers' Party, when we should come together. We should come together to force our governments to do what is right. St. Lucia should have water security right now. They don't. They should have food security right now. They don't. We never had water security. Okay, so we have Hilda Henry is asking the question. Did anyone ask you that question prior to 2021? Let the people be. It's their turn to be bitter. You also had your turn. Right, Mondesi. What did Chasney do with all these millions he borrowed? Mondesi, you see these talking points? You are insulting the citizens of the country who are preparing for a crisis right now. You are being insensitive, you are being arrogant, and you are being just full of yourself, brother. You should be sympathizing with the people of St. Lucia. I can ask you, Anthony Mondesi, where's all the millions of dollars Kenny borrow? Where are all the millions of dollars the SLP borrow? Where is it? We can ask all the governments these questions. So don't come here, you know, we talking about water, and you talking about billions of dollars borrowed, millions of dollars borrowed. Your government borrowed billions. 1 billion.
In less than 3 years. Good. In less than 3 years, this
and
government
still,
has borrowed.
The dam has not been
far more
deserved.
money than the last administration has, and we have not seen what they're doing with it. So when we open our mouths and speak about certain things, it's because we know we are seeing what's going on the ground in St. Lucia, and everybody's sitting there and saying nothing. So if I have a voice, no one is going to quiet that voice.
No, man.
I am not a coward.
I don't want. Okay, so we have our friend Queen is back. Nothing will offend me, sir. I am saying what I see in my opinion. Calm. I never said to keep quiet. To keep quiet. I said stop. It's not raining for now to collect rainwater to go through the Wasco system. It's not the first drought. Let's pray for rain. And now you're making a little more sense to me. You said we should stop. The prediction have always been there that the earth is getting hotter and we would have water crisis, that small developing states would have had issues. None of our governments went forward to ensure that we had water security. And you are right. There is a God, and we should pray to him so that he can send rain. If the people can pray, and we can get, but even though you pray and you get the rain, Wasco don't have the capacity to deliver the water to the people. In the middle of rain, in a rainstorm, Wasco will tell you people will tell you they don't have water coming through their pipes. So even though we pray for the rain and Wasco get the rain, the people are still the water. The people are still not getting it. So, Queen, you are welcome with your statements and no hard feelings. Go ahead.
My last call is for her to resign, because if she knew how to do the job, this would not have happened. And the infrastructure minister must go with her to follow her, because he should have been on top of his work to ensure that today we do not hear that there's a crisis, a water crisis, an emergency in St. Lucia. We have too much rain in this island for us to be settling for half-past garbage.
Okay, so we got something from Dennery South. From Dennery South, Esther Joseph from Dennery South. We don't use water from the dam, and yet still can it still put that tax of 66% on us to pay for the dam, whereas only the people in the north use the dam water. That's to show us Kenny never liked the people from the south. Go ahead.
So Garfield, they are going to, the person who just wrote that has written the truth about the water being the levy being charged. The levy was charged to every household in St. Lucia. Every single household paid that levy in St. Lucia and is paying that levy. And my thing is, where is that money and what has Wasco used that money for?
So when do you pay this? How do you pay this 66 levy? It's on your water bill?
It is on the water bill. It has been on the water bill. Has it been removed? No, it hasn't. Because if it was removed, we would have known.
But this should not be a broad tax on all St. Lucians. It should be on those who are using the dam.
It has been imposed on all St. Lucians. It has been imposed on all St. Lucians. It has been imposed. It has been there. It has not been removed. And today we're hearing that there's a water crisis, a water emergency. Make that make sense. Somebody make it make sense.
Well, someone is trying to make it make sense.
To be able to make this make sense.
Mondesi is saying here, he's trying to make it make sense, and he says the entire Caribbean is facing a water crisis because of the dry season. And by the way, St. Vincent have alerted the people that there's an issue with the dry season and water supply.
We have that going on. We have our ports being sold for $47 million for 2 ports for 30 to 40 years. We are losing in 20 years $700 million. Make that make sense.
I can't from my end.
Make that make sense.
Yeah.
Our young people are going to know what it means to have monies coming in from the port. How are the bills going to be settled in St. Lucia? How is St. Lucia's bills going to be paid? By taxing our young people who coming up who can't even get jobs?
I guarantee you, if
they live in school in jobs and there is no employment
I guarantee
for
you,
them.
if the SLP was in operation, if the SLP was in opposition, they would be in the streets right now protesting Wasco and everybody else, and Cabot, and the GPH deal. I guarantee you that. I can guarantee you they would be in the streets.
if they were in opposition, this water crisis thing, if that had come forth, St. Lucians would be keeping noise. If they were in opposition, the ports for Soufrière and Castries would never be sold. Would never be sold. If they were in office. I am at my wit's end as to why these things are happening here on Ireland, and no one is seeing it fit to speak about it. I am at my wit's end as to why we have to continue to let these things happen in this little island of ours. Let these people completely destroy our island. Let them completely destroy our island, and we say nothing and doing nothing about it.
It makes us act like we're acting like we're cowards.
We are not cowards. We are not cowards because I saw marches happen in St. Lucia in 2021 in COVID. I saw people on the beach speaking against Cabot development that is now of St. Lucians. Jack or Jackass did not want them to bathe on their beach. But on Pima, which is located on Redway Beach, which is government's land, is being sold, and no Jack or Jackass is on that beach.
Mount Pima is gone. Sold.
Nobody. And one Pima is gone. What happens to the beach? Do we still have access to the beach? And that's government land. Cabot was privately owned land. What hypocrisy is going on here?
Somebody said they were paying $19 for the first amount of gallons, and after 66%, they're paying $25. I got you. Folks, I'm writing down everything you're saying. Okay.
Now, I want to know.
Send me a ticket, brother.
Let me tell you, I don't want us to take on Auntie Mondesi because he is clueless. So him coming and make all his comments, it is pointless to me to even respond to this man. My comments are based on the truth and what is happening in this island that I live on currently. And if I live on this island and I am a citizen, I will speak out about what's going on. I will speak for the voiceless. I will speak for the young people who do not have jobs. Thousands of them graduating every July, and they had no jobs to fit them in. I saw the last administration open 2 call centers in Viewfort that employed thousands of young people, paying them anywhere between $2,500 to $4,000 or $4,500 a month. And they contributed big time to their homes, to their moms, and helping out in their homes in the South. There were even kids from the North who left the North and went to work in the South. Now, am I lying about this? But today, we have a government that has not given one new job, created one new job for these same young people, and we've had thousands of them graduate from 2021 July to 2024. This July, we have more graduates. We already have some that have graduated. Now you're telling me that is normal? Make that make sense. And we're being taxed 2.5%. A tax was imposed on us in October of last year. Suddenly imposed 2.5% for health and security. What health and what security has changed? Only the same Prime Minister and they secure loan and show them they can get the monies for that loan. So that is why they eat a 2.5% on us. And we sit in this island and we say and we do nothing. I am not standing for it anymore. And I will speak anyway in any public forum that I must because of this. I am fed up. And Anthony Monday, I am not, but those that are starving, and I know them. I have to feed them.
Okay, so we have...
Make that make sense.
Somebody said,
Make
putting the
it
people
make sense.
first. Minimum wage in August, putting the people first. I thought it was just an announcement and not minimum wage coming in August.
There's no minimum wage coming in August. It's an announcement coming in August. And with the minimum wage, we will have an extra tax, yeah?
Of course. Why
There
not?
will be another tax. And how much do we collect in tax 2022? $17 million in excess. In excess.
Mhm.
What did he do with that $17 million? Do we know? When we ask about the food prices, and that's all goods and commodities and services, there was an increase in their prices. What did we hear? When we asked him, what are you going to do about this? What did he say? What did he say? He threw his hands up in the air and said, I can't do nothing. Anthony Mondesi, did you see him? Because I did. Because I did. And me and hundreds and thousands of other solutions saw him. Because I did. And he is a leader of the country, and he should never throw his hands up and say, I don't know, I can't do nothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even the language he speaks is English.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Why is he sitting in the Prime Minister's chair if he can do nothing to better the lives of St. Lucians? Why did we vote for a government if they can do nothing to better the lives of St. Lucians?
Mm-hmm.
Why have we accepted the failure of this government over and over and over and over again in St. Lucia? Or are we accepting it? Why are you not know the history of the politics of this country? So the $2 that they pay them for a vote, they will not take that 200 thing for you. Instead, they take the $2, pocket it, and go and vote where they know they can get some development in this country that will create jobs for them. I am irate. I've been irate for the whole God knows how long now. So I can't take it again. I'm glad I am on this program today.
The event.
And I tell you, I'm in public. Every time I'm speaking, I'm at home. Today I'm in public. And I don't care who hears it, because it is time for people to hear me speaking about it publicly whilst I walk through the mall and doing what I have to do.
Oh my God. Don't get in trouble, because, some people are very ridiculous.
Nobody can touch this woman. I am covered. Nobody can touch this woman. And this young lady standing here speaking today, is not a coward. If I cannot stand up for St. Lucia and for my daughter who's growing up and my children and the other children and young people in this country, who is going to do it? Silence of the lambs? The quiet people running and hiding their tails in corners? Who's going to do it? We don't even know what the clause is in. When you hear Port Castries and Port Soufrière, so Castries alone we can collect $700 million from in 20 years, and they're paying us $47 million for aesthetics. They're doing aesthetics on a port that we can fix. We don't. They haven't mentioned what they're doing in Soufrière, and we lose all of that money in Castries alone. What happens to our young people? What are the taxes these young ladies I'm looking at in this store here are going to have to pay? Yes, I am in a store. And what are these two young ladies going to have to pay? What taxes are they going to have to pay from the small salaries that are making in the next 2 years?
Well, caller, I know there's a lot. I know that a lot can be done between this, but I have some good news for you all, folks. Your government in June would have at least a year and 6 months in office left. So I know a lot of damage can be done during that time.
No. Take this from me. I'm saying this publicly as well. They do not have a year, no 6 months left. They go in before that. You understand me? As long as I have a day to live, I'm going to commit my life to making sure that these people get out of government at the soonest. I'm making damn sure of it. Call me Martin Luther King, the female.
My Lord.
Call me Malcolm X, the female.
Okay.
Call me Mandela, the female. But there will be a female version in St. Lucia who is not afraid to walk through the malls and the streets of Castries and St. Lucia and speak about this.
Yes. Anyway, I am going to go now, caller, but I'm happy that I was able to give you all the time in the world today. No interruptions. We jam our
And there's a
call
lot
system.
more that we have to talk.
I know.
There is a lot more that we have to talk
We
about.
will have another program very soon before Monday. So
Thank you.
yes, we have a lot more to discuss. Thank you so much. Folks, that was our favorite caller. And let me say, this was just an emergency broadcast. We just wanted to come on here onto the platform to have a discussion. I'm going to continue to read your comments. Let's play some music as we read your comments, and then we'll discontinue.
Calling Alan is Alan do this, Alan do that, do this, do that, Alan do this, Alan do that. Hey, tous les jours on cela. If the man go on a holiday up in Toronto, oi, oi. Next day is big news on TV and radio, oi, oi. To remain in the limelight, that is what he's looking for. To be popular is a Pakatan, last pali about Alan. Is Alan do this, and Alan do that. Is Alan do this, that man feel is smart. That is his strategy, to keep people talking about he. Even the heavy roller, calling he Johnny Walker. Is Alan do this, and Alan do that. He brainwashing we, even that singing about he. Oh lad, is Alan do this, Alan do that, Alan do this, Alan do that. 15 do that, Walker. Oh lad, Alan, Alan, Alan. Is Alan do this, and Alan do that. Is Alan do this, that man feel is smart. All the ministers and the PM He more popular than them. Is them causing the problem, cause they have a name like an anthem. Is Alan do this and Alan do that. Stop playing the game, stop calling Alan names. Is Alan do this, Alan do that. Do this, do that. Alan do this, Alan do that. Hey, hey. Tous les jours font ça. If the man go on a holiday up in Toronto, oi, oi. Next day is big news on TV and radio, oi, oi. To remain in the limelight.
Okay, folks. So listen to me, folks. Let's keep the fire going. You know, we have a major water crisis. Conserve water as much as you can. Be careful. You don't need to be running your washing machine all the time. You don't need to be washing your vehicles with the treated water, friends. If you can start getting your tanks, those of you who can, get your tanks in place, harvest the rainwater. By the way, you have a problem with the rain, of course, but whenever you can get some rainwater, ensure that you fill up your drums and everything else. These things should have been done before, but do your best, friends. Do your best. I know the governments have all the resources to ask friendly governments to give them water tanks, donate water tanks. St. Vincent got thousands of water tanks during the hurricane, the eruptions, and our governments can do better. Those ambassadors over in the different diaspora wasting taxpayers' money, they can talk to some of these world governments and ask them to sponsor at least 1,000 water tanks, 2,000 water tanks, and let us distribute water tanks for free to all our people, and let us help them to harvest rainwater so that they can, be efficient when it comes to water security. They can be secure with water security. But we got to do what it takes, friends. We got to keep the fire going. Our water and sewage company should never be the way it is. Never. No, not in these times. All of us understood what the change in globe is all about, the different changes in the climate. We knew what it was. We knew we would have either too much water or no water at all. We knew what we should have expected and prepared for. And like the foolish virgins, we did not have oil in our lamps. At midnight, friends, when we need the oil in our lamps, there is no light because we took the flabber out. There is no flabber. There is no light, my friends. All we have in now is a bunch of is just nonsense, hosted nonsense. And it's not to say that the government can do better. The government can do better. Share with us information. Do the necessary stuff that is necessary. It might be difficult. Maybe you would have opposed it while you were in opposition. Bite your shame, put your shame behind, and get it done on behalf of the people. I know there's a lot of stuff that you complained about and you spoke against. And those are the very things that you must do. You must do. You must turn back. Put your tail between your legs and get to work on behalf of the people. It's no longer about you. You have already won. You have already won. Government of St. Lucia. Not Government of St. Lucia, St. Lucia Labour Party. You should not be campaigning. You should be fixing our water problems. You should be fixing our roads, our healthcare system. You said to us that you can do a better job. You said to us that the Alan Shastney administration borrowed too much. Now you have surpassed them in borrowing. You have said to us that the Alan Shastney administration, they're not transparent. And now we don't know what the devil is happening in the country. All kind of deals, confusion everywhere. The contractor is saying one thing, the engineer who is part owner, I believe, of the firm who's going to do the halls of justice, he comes, say something else. Nancy is saying what she's getting from the guy, and then you say no, the prime minister and the guy, they don't know what they're saying. Basically, this is the information. I have the real information, and we're supposed to just sit down and just wait until you can come and tell us the truth. And when we ask for the truth, we get cursed out, we get insulted, humiliated, threatened. Can you imagine that? And you know what I realize? The real SLPs, the real diehard SLPs, they're not walking around insulting the flabos. If you look carefully, they cool out a lot. What you will find is a lot of former UWP who joined the Labour Party going around and doing all the nastiness, cussing people off and all kind of nonsense. And when you investigate them, you discover that it is something that they did not get that they wanted. That is why they're so rah. It has nothing to do with nation building. It has nothing to do with our water woes. It has nothing to do with our health crisis and all those things in the country. It is all about them. Look at the real SLP ministers too. They would give their little jabs. They have their right to do it. But some of them are very controlled. They're not as bad as those who were former supporters of the United Workers' Party in government. Look at them carefully, St. Lucia, to open your eyes. Don't be caught up in bitterness and hating people because some politician tell you to hate somebody. You don't need to hate anybody. If it is all about policies and nation building, there is no need for hating. Those people who are hating, those people who are acting terrible and ridiculous, they do not understand anything about governance. They don't care about nation building. They don't care a hoot about you and whether you die from thirst. They don't care about it because that's not their agenda. They prefer to talk about your mother, your auntie, your cousin, what job you have, what job you don't have. They prefer to be there, to call people names, because they're not real. They're not there for the nation, the country. Look at them, St. Lucians. And don't come here and tell me that SLP don't care about the country and the support. No, I wouldn't say that. You have SLPs who love their country. You have UWPs who love their country and want to see it go right. But those who are keeping the noise, those who are the loudest, they are selfish. They don't care about the country. Trust me with what I'm saying to you. Is what they can't get or what they could get. Look at John Peters calling a show all the time. Nobody's calling to explain. But as soon as the United Workers' Party open their mouths, he calls the show to speak over Nancy, to filibuster and to try to drown her out, to tell her she's spreading lies. When all she's doing, is repeating what she was told by his boss and his government. That's all Nancy was doing. She didn't just go in the corner and just pick up numbers from the UWP vault and say, let's say this, let's say that. No, she came with what she got from you guys. So that's what I'm saying, friends. All that glitters is not gold. Patriotism is not about noise and cursing each other. No, friends. I'll tell you, a true patriot speak on issues and not individuals. A true patriot will speak and get himself tired and hoarse speaking about the plights of the people. And you got to be observant. And I am one of them. I speak about the development of the whole man. You'll scarcely find me coming here cussing people off and telling them about their mother, their cousin. No, because I know what I'm about. I'm a real patriot. I declare myself a patriot from this day forward. Because I have proven, I've been proven and tested. Country first. Country first, friends. I'm not here about me. Or you would hear me speaking a lot about me. You would hear me defending a lot of me. But even when they curse me out, you don't hear me come back and jam any one of them. Because I understand and I can say like Jesus, forgive them, they don't know what they're doing or what they're saying. They're just following the trend. They hear people talking, they want to talk too. They don't even know what they're talking about. I heard one say, I don't know what, every day, the UWP, them fellas, they're talking online every day. Are you kidding me? Do you understand what democracy is all about? Do you understand what freedom of speech is all about? Do you understand those tenets that keeps us together? The Constitution that permits us the freedom of expression, the freedom of association. Do you understand that? That we are exercising freedoms that were fought for, freedoms that were given to us as free human beings. Do you understand what you're talking about? You are in the wrong business. You are surely in the wrong business if you're concerned about your brothers and your sisters in the country. Then you would help me, you would join with me in calling our leaders out, whether the United Workers' Party or the SOP. You will join me together to say to WASCO, you can do better, you must do better. To say to our healthcare system that you must step it up. Look, I am hearing there is an MRI machine comes into St. Lucia. The government don't have one, but a private individual organization can bring in an MRI machine. How do you do healthcare without an MRI machine? That's my question. How do you do proper healthcare without a good MRI machine at your hospitals? Not at one hospital, not one MRI machine, but many. As a matter of fact, every hospital should have an MRI and an X-ray machine. All hospitals should have it with the crisis that we're facing with cancer and all these sicknesses. How do you treat people without an MRI machine? I cannot understand it. It's beyond me. And we want to talk about people's their underwears and who this and which that. What is this? What is this, folks? Are we for real? Who blighted us? That we are so blind. Who have bewitched us? Who? That today I'm hearing people celebrating evil. Celebrating evil. Who have bewitched us, friends? That wrong is right and right is wrong. Who have bewitched us as a nation? Have the chicken come home to roost or roast? Are we paying for our sins of the past? Our neglects of the past? What are we suffering from? What in the world are you suffering from, my people? How do you get health care and you sit down and you watch the young gentleman on Timothy's show speaking about the MRI machine? A machine that can detect cancer in your body and sickness in your body, friends, and can help you get the necessary intervention that will save your life. You do not have access to that machine. A machine that should be all over our hospitals. Somebody comes in with constant migraine. Let me, before I go, folks, let me ask you a question. Those of you who go to the hospital. When you go to the hospital with a migraine, what these guys do to you? Check your pressure. What else do they do? Give you what? Medication for your headache? And send you home? What is the procedure? Because if I go to the hospital and I'm complaining of constant headaches, they're going to do the blood work. They're going to do the MRI, the scans, CT scans. Because they're going to start ruling out things, you see. They will start ruling out cancer. They're going to start ruling out heart issues. They're going to start ruling out a cyst, an ulcer, a growth in the brain. They start ruling things out. That's proper health care. Not a doctor looking at you and tell you, drink more water. Or take a Panadol. Back in the days, there's a horse of the Panadol they used to give you. And then you find out that you're so sick. After 6 months or 5 months of going to the hospital, you are so sick that they say to you at the end, you have 2 weeks to live. And you're like, but I was at the hospital. They give me Panadol. Is that proper health care for you and your family? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? You might be young now, but you will get old and need that service. Is that what you want in your country? Your country is not keeping up with the latest technology. They're not investing in healthcare, really. All they're telling you is that they're building buildings. If your government was truly interested in your healthcare, they would have finished that new building. Finish it and move these people in and invest those money in equipments, the latest equipment and technology, and personnel to man them. But no, you like nastiness and you settle for mediocrity. You settle for Panadols and a coffin, because that's what you get. And I said it, Panadol and a coffin. That's what you settle for when you can have your loved ones with you living for more years. Granny life can be extended, your cousin. But the hospital is not equipped with life-saving instruments that are necessary for good health. And you want to come and talk about me. And talk about this one, that one. Talk about Ian. Talk about this one. Talk about that one. That's what you want to do? Do you understand what you're in? And I understand even more every time I go to the hospital or the doctor to get my regular checks. And like I said to you, I have a doctor for everything. My head, my heart, my belly, everything. My eyes, my teeth, everything. I tell you, my ears, everything. Do you understand, my friends, what I'm saying to you? That your government is not government, is not governing? That our priorities are not what it should be? The health of the nation? You're getting lip service? And Shasne service, because that's all they give you. Shasne do this, Shasne do that. And Shasne didn't do well. If he didn't do, you should be doing now. Right now, let me tell you something, SLP government. Let me give you the real picture in case you don't know. This is June. June is coming. You will be 3 years in office. Elections are called every 5 years. Do you know what that means? The possibility is that you only have one. You only have 1 year and a few months left in office. Do you understand what you have been wasting time on for 3 years, Mr. Shasne? In 3 years, this ain't no midterm, you know. This is past term, heading to the end of your leadership, you know. How have you improved the healthcare system? How have you improved agriculture? How have you improved our schools, our roads, our waterways, food security, water security? How have you improved it? Folks, permit me to rant a bit all by myself. How have you improved the lives of the people? Do you understand what I'm saying to you, SLP? You have only a year and some months left in office. What are you going to do with that year and some months? I know what you will do. You're going to plan how to peck and bamboozle the several of the people of St. Lucia. You're going to send out Buddy to tell the people off and to cuss them up. You're going to use Buddy at the end. I know what you're going to do. You're going to put money out there like crazy within the next year or so, a few months. You're going to flood the country. And then nothing tangible, nothing real. And then you're going to give them a hospital building and tell them, look, I give you a hospital. And the service remains the same. That a private person have to bring in an MRI machine that you, the government, don't have. No private institution should have any medical equipment that you, the government, don't have. Period. Means you ain't thinking about the people. And I come and I throw all governments under the bus. Whether it's my government, UWP, or anybody, I throw all of you under the bus. Because when it comes to the lives of our people, it matters. All life matters for us. All life matters, whether they're my family or not my family. Whether they're my enemies or my foe. All life matters. And when my enemy gets sick, my enemy should be able to go to a hospital and get an MRI scan. You hear what I'm saying? So all the enemies who were cussing me off and talking all kind of foolishness. I saw one in Brooklyn. She didn't even see me. They never see me. Look, hang up like on a hanger. Calling me all kind of names. Insults. Saw her right there. Eastern Parkway. I passed there. And I said, look. I stopped my vehicle. You better where am I the Gaza? Gaza. I am speaking on behalf of this person. Because if this person gets sick or their family gets sick in the country and I agitate enough and there's an MRI machine at the hospital and there's a better healthcare system, she will benefit. Yes, she will. But she cuts off the messenger. Messenger have nothing to gain and nothing to lose. At this time of my life, I ain't looking for anything from... By the way, what can I look for, friends? I'm looking for the coming of Christ. On Christ, the solid rock I stand. All of the ground is sinking sand. I'm looking for him. Preparing for his coming. I'm preparing for if he calls me home. Preparing myself so that I don't leave no unfinished task behind. And when he asks me what I have done for the least among them, I can sit to him. I agitated on behalf of the poor and the needy. I agitated for a better healthcare system. I agitated for water. I agitated for the respect of the people and respect of senior citizens. And I agitated to the point where we had a pantry set up in the country, and I'm still working on that pantry. So my Christian life is balanced. I'm agitating so that the widows among us can be cared for. The crippled and the lame, the blind, and those who are born differently abled. The mentally challenged, I petition, I agitate on everybody's behalf because I know I have a God to answer to. Some of you don't believe in God, you believe in your Obia man. I heard an SLP hack says today that you all don't want to believe, you all believe in the Bible and the Bible writers, but you all don't want to believe in this Obia man. I'm like, wow. So I agitate for kingdom. For kingdom. And that's why it's inviting my cousin, Jason Providence, the prophet brother who cast out demons and threw demons out like crazy every day. That's my cousin. Maybe I should bring him to St. Lucia to cast out some of those demons in the country. You gotta be demonic to be talking foolishness like that. Because when it comes to matters of God, brethren, I prefer to say nothing than to say something and curse my God and turn my back on him. The Bible says that the fool have said in his heart that there's no God. Only a fool will mix up the holy and the profane. Only a fool. Will try to mix God with the devil. Only a fool. Because the Bible says the fool have said in his heart, that there is no God. But St. Lucians, I say to you, I speak every day for what is good for you. Huh? It is up to you all. It is up to you all to speak up. Y'all don't even call. Y'all are afraid. Reverend, let me tell you something. Même si c'est créole ou ça parle, crier, c'est network là, call. Call, man. Even though you can't speak English, speak what you can. But speak up so we can know that what we're saying here is not in vain. We're not lying. We're not misleading the people. Speak up. Speak up. Don't be intimidated. Evil can affect you if you're evil yourself. And if you're talking about discrimination and victimization, they only have a year and a few months left in office. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Let me do like Philip J. Let me put up my hands. 3. Can you see my hand? 1, 2, 3. 3 down. Listen, after 3 is 4. After 4 is 5. Elections must be called within this year, the 5 year. Hey, these guys got in office when in June. And that's why I say them fellas just have a few months in the 5th month, in the 5th year. Is it? Am I making sense? Anyway, whatever it is, we'll fix that up. Them fellas don't have long, you know. They don't have long, really, when you look at it, when it comes to development, when it comes to progress, when it comes to the space of time for any major project to be implemented, the fat lady is going to start singing. Yeah? The fat lady is going to start singing. And you know what you're going to hear? Listen.
If the man go on a holiday up in Toronto, oi, oi. Next day is big news on TV and radio, oi,
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 oi.
to remain in the limelight. That is what he's looking for. To make him more popular. Is a Pakatan, last pali about Alan. Is Alan do this, and Alan do that.
Oi.
Alan do this. That man feel is smart. That is the strategy to keep people talking about he. Even the heavy roller calling he Johnny Walker. Is Alan do this, and Alan do that. He brainwashing we, even I singing about he. Oh lad, is Alan do this, Alan do that, Alan do this, Alan do that.
And guess what? They're going to come to you again, the people, and tell you Alan do this and Alan do that. And many of you will believe that Alan was the Prime Minister and not Philip J.
Mwen pas apwen maji beti sa. Mwen pas apwen maji beti sa.
This short fella. The sky is falling. I heard this short fella. The sky is falling. I heard this short fella. The sky is falling. I heard this short fella.
These people are going to be so emboldened that they will come to you and tell you, Alan do this and Alan do that. And that's why they couldn't do anything for you. And you will believe, trust me, you will believe that Alan Chasney was the Prime Minister and not Philip J. And you're going to act bamboozledly. Yeah? You will believe that. Yeah, you will. You will.
I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story.
Philip J. Pierre
attacked elderly people and a big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people.
Folks, they will also tell you Alan Shaston make Philip J. Pierre do all that foolishness with himself. Is Alan do that? Is Alan do that, folks? Anyway, I know the United Workers' Party Roundtable is going to be on tonight. Folks, you need to get yourself charged up for that event. Follow the news. Remember, don't forget to give thanks to God for protecting you throughout the day. As you get in, remember to give thanks. It's a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord. All right? So don't forget him. All right?
To a walk through the Grizzly constituency on May 25th, 2024 from 3:30 p.m. Start-off point, Casaba Junction. Then we walk through Bossejou, Casaba, then the streets of Grizzly, where we end at Federal Prudence office on Marie Terry Street. Tell a friend to bring a friend. Let's make it happen. All are invited to a walk through the Grizzly constituency on May 25th, 2024 from 3:30 p.m. Start-off point, Casaba Junction. Then we walk through Bossejou, Casaba, then the streets of Grizzly, where we end at Federal Prudence office on Marie Terry Street. Tell a friend to bring a friend. Let's make it happen. All are invited to a walk through the Grizzly constituency on May 25th, 2024 from 3:30 p.m. Start-off point, Casaba Junction. Then we walk through Bossejou, Casaba, then the streets of Grizzly, where we end at Federal Prudence office on Marie Terry Street. Tell a friend to bring a friend. Let's make it happen.
Okay, folks, that was the announcement from the United Workers' Party. That is for Grizzly. All right, that is on the 25th of May, 2024. That is at 3:30 p.m. Folks, start getting your shoe together, get yourself together. Those of you from Soufrière, Grizzly, Dennery, all over, go and walk with them. Go support them. You're talking about boots on the ground. A lot of you full of talk. I got to put fire in you all. A lot of you full of talk. Go and assist them. Why are we not on the ground? Why are we not on the ground? Why are we not doing this? Look, they're on the ground. They're on the ground, Mio.
Mon pas ça pour Major Betisa.
Go. Enough of the talk and complaining. Go, here's the opportunity. All right, 25th. Cover the area. All of you, go. From north and south and east and west. Head over there. Anyway, folks, have a beautiful rest of your evening. May God bless you as we depart from this program.
Is a land to this. Come and feel is smart. All the ministers and the PM, be more popular than them. Is them causing the problem cause they have a name like an anthem. Is a land to this and a land to that. Stop playing game. Stop calling our names. Is Alan do this, Alan do that, do this,